Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Freelance Friday podcast. Welcome if you're new. If you are new, my name is Latasha. I'm a full-time content creator, online business owner. I have been full-time as a freelancer, content creator, etc. since 2019. And I I have had an interesting year so far, and I kind of wanted to talk about the redirection that I'm looking to put my business on the track, on the path of, not just for selfish reasons. Obviously, I hope it's a little community update for those of you who tune in every week. Got my blanket here. We're getting cozy, but also hopefully for maybe some education or inspiration if you are also looking to do this full time and want kind of a taste of like the state of online business right now from like maybe, one of the smaller guys. I'm not Amy Porterfield. I'm not Jenna Kutcher, but us sort of middle class creators, if you will, just kind of share like what's been on my mind. And also, you know, anyone who's going through personal stuff or making big life changes. I just started grad school. I'm about to finish my first quarter, which is like so exciting. Midterms almost ended me, but I did well. So yeah, let me start with a little personal update. I am alive. I am alive. I skipped uploading for a very long time. I've not taken that long of a break from uploading in quite a while. And part of it was midterms, but also I think I just felt like I was like in a funk, which is what we're going to talk about today. Something happened. I got a message. Thank you if you are this person. I got a message on Instagram with a link to a Fiverr profile that was using my face to advertise UGC, user generated content videos, for money on Fiverr. That was disturbing enough, but I clicked on their profile and I found another listing that actually had an AI generated version of me talking and promoting this UGC service.
Are you struggling to turn views into real sales? I create engaging spokesperson and UGC style videos that showcase your product, connect with your audience, and build trust. Perfect for social media, ads, and websites. Let's create a video that helps your brand stand out and drive results today.
Listen, guys, I know that AI is a thing. I have come around to certain aspects of AI. Like, I am supportive or at worst neutral about a lot of different AI tools. I actually, for this episode, I've been loving this tool called Gamma. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but basically you can take your outline and it will help you formulate your slides for things like quick little slide decks you want to assemble for your team. I think things like that are pretty innocent and not hurting people. And I wanted to make a quick podcast on the fly. And so it came in handy to help me organize some of my thoughts. But I'm very against generative AI to the point of taking people's YouTube videos and making their mouths say something that they did not say. It kind of put me in a bad mood. And then I also spoke at an event down in Tampa. I spoke at Digital Summit and I met many people. Shout out to all of you who came up to me. Thank you. Who have taken a course that I created for some universities. It's kind of a long story, but it's like it's offered at many universities all over the place. And I'm proud of that work and I stand by the teachings. But something that I think a lot of people don't know is I got paid once for that course and it was a couple $1,000s, maybe like 5,000, maybe less though. I don't really remember. But it just kind of got me thinking about IP and the value of our intellectual property. And, that's what we've got as creators. That is like, I think the most valuable thing. And when I talk about brand deals, when I talk about putting content out there, and charging, your worth, if you will, for it. Like, this is what I mean. I wish I could go back to the person who licensed my course to be taught at huge universities for years and years and years to come. I wish I could have told her, like, get an annual deal. But full disclosure, I had one of the worst months, in a while last month. Yet I'm like, I don't know, like I'm getting people come up to me being like, oh my gosh, like I'm taking your course right now. And it's just kind of like, a weird feeling. I don't know. So anyway, it put me in kind of a weird headspace. And I just wanted to talk about, I sat with it. I spent some time in Florida just by myself, like doing my own thing. And I really did some big thinking, some deep thinking about where I want this business to go. I think it's time to burn my entire business down to the ground. I'm just gonna give it to you guys straight. Uh, I feel like whatever I'm doing right now in my business is not working anymore. I'm just going to be honest. I feel like nothing feels aligned anymore. The things that do feel aligned and exciting are the things that scare me. And I think that's what I'm going to go towards. Also, Fiverr did take down the profile. I thought it was disturbing that I had to create a Fiverr profile to report it. I thought it was disturbing that I think in these times, these tech companies have to do a double check. Like AI is the thing now. Like, I don't know, maybe we need to start verifying. I mean, I also have questions about putting my ID on a tech company website. So I don't really know what the answer is, but they did take it down. So I appreciate them for that. But what is that going to look like in the future? Because honestly, I thought it was pretty realistic. And I know somebody who was, I don't know, 60 years old wouldn't have known the difference. No offense to 60-year-olds. I'm just saying that was maybe not the right word to say, maybe not 60, but not as much of a tech native. Okay, so my overall mission for this year has changed from make XXXX dollars to have fun in your business again. I know I talk about this a lot, but the reason most of us started our businesses, the reason I started my business is because I loved it. And I finally, I came back from Tampa and I just have had a great day. I shot some sponsored content for a brand and I'm just it's getting lighter later now. I think that helps. And I just got into it. I was like, yes, let's just do stuff. And I want to get to that point again. I think I really just overthought my content for so long because I assigned these numerical values and every piece of content had to be a business asset and it had to sell a thing and it had to map to a revenue stream. And that's all amazing advice that I give to other people. But when it comes to myself, I don't really want to take that advice. I think I've kind of fallen out of love with creating. And truly, for me, YouTube has always been my North Star. If I am creating a lot of YouTube videos, that I'm excited about creating, the rest of the things fall into place for me. That's just how my business has always operated from day one. So that's my goal. And for me, that means I need to revive my YouTube channel a little bit. I'd let it sit stagnant for a week and a half, which was a really long time, maybe more. And I've also just kind of been operating on autopilot a little bit and not in the good way, not in the efficient way, just kind of cranking things out and whatever. So here's kind of what my content strategy is going to look like. Long form, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Friday is the podcast. And then Tuesday or Monday, I don't know, I might need to rethink my days, but whatever. One other weekday, I'm going to do a vlog. I love creating vlogs. The loyal vlog audience loves them. I actually think I'm going to start a new series all about sort of this journey that I'm going on. Make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for that. And honestly, I would love to fit another video in there as well. I don't know if that's possible with my grad school schedule and all the other things in my life, but I really do need to boost my uploads. Again, when I'm uploading a lot, good things happen. And we'll talk about the revenue streams and how that can be influenced later. YouTube Shorts. I need to start posting there. I have started posting there, actually. I went through my TikTok when they got sold or whatever, that whole acquisition deal happened, and I downloaded a bunch of TikToks, and I've been scheduling them out on my YouTube Shorts. So I just want to keep doing that. Short form content, let's talk about that while we're on that topic. I have been afraid of short form content for years. I still don't prefer it. I still don't love it, but I have started consuming it because the algorithms are going to algorithm. I personally consume it mostly on Facebook, which is so funny because I don't even post on Facebook myself. But when I open it up to look at a community event or something, I just notice there's this, it's just really targeted and the algorithm just algorithms. And I think that Facebook is a big opportunity for creators. This year, they actually just announced a new content fund type situation. I'll leave a link for it. I unfortunately don't qualify. It would be really nice to get a $2,000 check from Facebook every month, but they don't want me. But maybe they want some of you guys. But yeah, I'm trying to post reels on there as well as Instagram reels regularly. And here's some things that have helped me sort of overcome my short form phobia or my short phobia for sure. Number one is my camera. Honestly, you guys, I have a video filmed about the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I just have not edited it. How do you say edited it? Edited. Oh my gosh. I have not had time to edit it yet. How's that? It's seriously the best purchase I've made in so long. The hype is real. I know I'm late to the game, but I'm actually recording this podcast, which, like, yeah, probably doesn't look as cinematic as my typical podcast. But guess what? I'm recording a podcast and it took me 2 seconds to set up, and my microphone is connected. And so I don't even have to join the audio and video. Like, it's just such a handy camera. And it also records short form content, short vertical. You can swivel the screen and record vertical content. That has just been something I've always struggled recording on my phone. I just don't know what it is. I hate how my face looks. I just have found that using this camera just makes things so much easier. And it makes it so that I can just record like short form talking head videos a lot easier. I found that that's what really performs as opposed to the repurposed kind of like clip from my podcast. No, I'm just going to record in my hotel bed and talk to you guys or record on my couch. And that's been nice. Another thing is sort of for short form content. Here's my thought process. I think like going nicheless is where it's at, or at least like a little looser with the niche. This is so funny. You guys, I made this short. I tried out the new Shark. It's like a hair dryer flat iron in one. And I tried it out on camera. I posted it on Facebook Reels, on Instagram Reels, I think on YouTube Shorts. I got so many messages about that and it performed quite well. I don't know yet if it has like an ROI because I did use an affiliate link, at least on YouTube Shorts. I haven't looked at the data. I don't know if I sold any of those tools, but it generated engagement. It was fun for me to film and record. If you don't know, I started my content journey doing beauty content, and it's just like short form content. I don't think needs like, I don't need to overthink like, does this match my business audience? Like, I think YouTube should be a little bit more curated, long form, that is, but I think shorts you can just have fun with. And like, I think people go on Instagram or on Facebook to like decompress and have fun. And like, I don't know that they need like 5 hacks for starting a business. I don't know. I'm not saying they don't need it at all, but like, we can also give the hair tutorial. It's fine. It's fine. Don't overthink it. Okay, this is all great. Have fun, Latasha, but like, how am I going to make money? So I'm still going to keep doing all the same things that I'm doing. For me, if we look at my revenue streams for the past couple years, like it's been like courses are up there as either number one or number two. Then we've got sponsorships, either one or number two. And then services and, the done for you services have been declining intentionally, but I've still been kind of like taking on lots of clients, just because I think I kind of feel like I have to, honestly. And I'm in grad school now. And guess what? It's freaking hard, honestly. So I need to make some decisions. My program is only a year and a half. It might be another year if I want to get licensed as a therapist, which I'll probably do. But either way, I'll probably take a break. I don't know, maybe not. Okay, that's another topic. A year and a half, 2 years, whatever. It's going to go by fast. I'm going to take that time to not take on done for you client work, or at least be very, very selective with it and truly only do things that I like am excited to do that are maybe with friends or existing clients or past clients. And I'm also kind of restructuring my courses a bit. They're still doing their thing, but like I hired an operations manager to help me manage the communities. I improved like the onboarding and the drip sequences and all like the back end stuff for my biggest course, the social media management accelerator. So it runs a little bit more on autopilot. I mean, I still do live things in there, but it's a little bit more streamlined. And I'm going to really focus on sponsorships. That is going to be my goal for to be my primary revenue stream this year and potentially next year, hopefully. Something that is just true, in my opinion. I mean, we can mindset coach it up all day, but the numbers don't lie. Data is how you make decisions. And yeah, we're kind of in rough economic times right now. And something that hasn't really sat right with me is like selling. And I know like I'm all about preaching like serve, don't sell. And like you're helping someone and like getting over some of those mindset blocks about selling. And I'm not saying we shouldn't sell right now, but I'm saying for me personally, it feels better for me to take money from a brand than to ask money of you guys. Like, I would rather really focus on making the best possible content that I can make for free and have you guys sit through some sponsorships and also learn about new products and tools that are going to help you from those sponsorships. And also, like, doing sponsorships helps me come up with content ideas. So it just feels like a little bit of a better fit for my life right now. And the other thing about this is it's easier for me in this season of life. You guys know if you're a social media manager, if you're free, done for you freelancer, like managing a client's content calendar or creating video content for them, it is so much work and communication and time. And it is so fun. And it's what I love doing, but it's not realistic for my life right now. I thought I can handle it. I can handle school and I will finish, but it truly is a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. It's a lot easier for me to sit here on a Thursday evening like I am right now and shoot some content to send off to a brand, pop some podcast ad reads into my podcasts, to batch record some sponsored content than it is for me to like meet with a client 3 days a week or go on site to shoot content for them. So it just makes more sense for my lifestyle right now. And the good news is I've already got around $100,000 in sponsorship revenue pledged for this year. It's not in my hands yet. I've had a not good Q1, let me tell you. I think my accountant probably thinks I died or something, but it is pledged and it is, coming through the year, assuming all goes well. And that's really positive. I mean, it's only almost April. So my goal is really to like 3x that. Like, I would love to end the year with around $300,000 in sponsorship income revenue. That is, obviously there's a lot of that goes to the tax man, a lot of that goes to my team, a lot of that goes to some of the other fun things I'm planning, which I'll tell you about in a moment. And yeah, it's helpful data that sponsorships were actually my number one revenue stream last year. That was a change. Like, it was typically number two or sometimes even number three, but last year it was the most consistent for me. So the goal is to increase inventory, post more content, right? If I can post more long form YouTube videos, I have more opportunity to introduce sponsors. And I can also post across different channels, like get more Instagram sponsorship, Facebook sponsorships. If I continue with this like no niche energy on short form, maybe I can get, I don't know, Shark to sponsor me or like a beauty brand or a fashion brand or something that might be a smaller amount. I'm not going to charge thousands of dollars, but like a couple $100 here, a couple $100 there will help me, be able to keep creating content and doing this full time without asking much of you. Just to like listen to some SpawnCon, I guess. Multi-platform packages. Like, I went through and I updated my media kit recently to include some of that, nurturing my OGs, my recurring sponsors and partners, and just making sure that I'm doing the very best that I can to actually get them results and to show up when they need me. Another thing that I'm focusing on this year is in person, which feels so new and foreign and scary. I mean, I think that's like the year. It's the, if you're into all the woo woo, it's the year of the fire horse. And I just feel like I am like really in new terrain, with school, but also with in person. I'm going to do a full episode about this at some point and my experience with it, because it is a different world. If you've run an online business your whole career, in person is a totally different ball game. But I do think it's kind of like the next step. It's where a lot of my clients want to meet me now. Like, we've done the online thing. We've like been on Zoom together for like years. We've watched each other on YouTube. Like, let's get in a room and really get stuff done together. So the good news is this is working for me. I mean, it's not working as in I'm making like $50,000 months from in person, but I am making $500. I just put my studio space on Peerspace for the first time. I don't know why I was afraid of putting it there, but I did it and I made $500 in revenue on the first month. And let me tell you, I was actually in Florida for 2 weeks. So I made $500 in 2 weeks from that space. And really all I had to do was open the door, show people around the equipment, and like, that's it, So a really cool opportunity. It can actually be passive for me if I want to make it so. But for now, I'm really enjoying connecting with my local creative community, meeting new people, being able to help them hands on. It's just a fun like thing that I can do. And again, it's a lot easier for me to go unlock a door and then go take my homework downstairs and work at a coffee shop than it is for me to, do some of the other things that I do. I've also got some things that I'm working on ahead, including my first live event. November 7th. And really, it's like the 6th through the 8th. My friend Elena and I are hosting a little marketing retreat. A little, I don't know. Why am I saying little? That's me making myself small. We're hosting a marketing retreat in November in New York City, in Brooklyn, to be specific. And I'm going to leave a link for you down below if you want to check it out, sign up for the wait list. And that's going to be really exciting. And I'm also hoping, I'm not hoping, this is going to happen. I'm very close to finishing my book. My goal is to have my book done and published by the time that event goes out. So it can also kind of function as my book launch event. And I really hope to see some of you there. I mean, I will. We're going to like speak it into existence, but it's going to be a couple days of high quality workshops from amazing speakers. There's going to be amazing content opportunities. I just talked to hopefully our photographer and videographer who I love and who's so talented, who's going to take some amazing content for us all. There's going to be so much there. Stay tuned. I'll tell you more in the future, but that's a big thing. And then I'm also really focusing on my coaching. Like that's what I love doing. That's why I'm going to school to be a therapist. That's kind of what inspired that career path. And one of the things that I decided to do is actually offer a more accessible entry point to my coaching. So as of now, you can actually book $100 sessions with me if you're interested in the more integrative approach. And what the integrative coaching offer is all about is it's not like a hardcore business strategy session where I'll review your slide decks and, help you audit your website. That's still available. That's a little bit more expensive because it takes me more work, it's more work for me to do that. But the integrative coaching is if you want to talk about some of the mindset blocks that you have, if you are open to maybe trying to integrate a little bit of somatic work, dealing with your nervous system and using your body as a tool to help you as a business owner, I'm offering those at a reduced rate for two reasons. One, I love doing them. And two, it's a service to me to help me practice what I'm learning in my master's program and get my hours in. So that's available and I'm going to be focusing on that. Yeah, so that's kind of my plan at a glance. I'm thinking creator first. Like I think for a long time I was thinking, it's so funny. Okay. I was on the plane on the way back from Tampa and I sat next to this guy. He was so sweet. You just meet people that you're like, I'm probably not going to forget that guy. And I spent 2.5 hours on a plane with him. We barely talked until like the plane landed. Anyway, he was a veteran. He served in the Navy and he also worked in healthcare for the VA after he did his service. And he was just talking to me. One of the pieces he gave me this advice. I love when older people just give unsolicited advice, right? He was like, if I could go back to my 20s, which I'm going to take that as a compliment that I think he meant he thought I was in my 20s. I'm not. But he said, if I could go back to my 20s, I would tell myself to take more risks. And I really needed to hear that in that moment. And then he asked me about what I do and why I was on the plane. And I told him I like to travel in the winter because I can work from anywhere. He said, oh, are you in healthcare? And I said, no, I have a marketing company. And honestly, that doesn't feel right anymore. It's not that I don't, it's not that it's untrue, and it's not that I'm saying like screw marketing or anything, but like I have a creator company. I create for a living. I need to like really think about that, but like I want to get comfortable saying I'm a YouTuber, Like that's kind of my goal by 2027 is like, can I tell someone I'm a YouTuber and say it with my whole chest? I don't know, but that's kind of what I mean by creator first is I want to step into this because I think it's keeping me small. I think by saying like, oh yeah, I have a marketing company, it sort of minimizes what I do and not to say one is better than the other. I think a lot of people would say a marketing company is more prestigious than being a YouTuber actually, but I think it just like shifts my focus a little and keeps me tethered to like I must be producing, I don't know, like paid ad leads for a client to show up fully in my business. And I just think that's not where my capacity is at right now with being in school in particular, but also like just some of the other things. So, yeah, to do that, I want to amplify my sponsorships and I want to focus on in person. I want to sign some books, take some pics, host some talks. It's going to be so much fun. We just booked our venue and solidified our dates. And so it's all starting to feel really real for me. And I just can't wait. So the North Star is to have fun with content again. And that's what I'm focusing on for now. So let me know what you're focusing on. If any of this inspired you, enlightened you, if you have any questions about anything too, always curious and hope you enjoyed this little update. We'll be back to regularly scheduled content next week. I actually batched a bunch of podcasts, so there'll be some new high quality stuff ready for you. Very helpful, very tactical, all the stuff that we love. So thanks for being here. I greatly appreciate you guys. Thanks for letting me ramble, and I'll see you in the next one. What is this? Bye.